let me talk about Ben Askren's first opponent in the UFC. So if you haven't already heard, he is scheduled to fight at UFC 233, which will be in January. The opponent, who a lot of people thought it could be either Darren Till, maybe even Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, maybe even Nate or Nick Diaz. Well, according to Brett Okamoto of ESPN, a deal has promptly almost been finalized between former welterweight champion Ruthless Robbie Lawler versus Ben Askren in January of 2019, kicking off the first pay-per-view of the year, to which I have to give my 2 cents on this. I actually think this is a good fight. I think for Mr. Ruthless Robbie Lawler, he had such a great second run in the UFC, that being the run that earned him the welterweight title shot. And since his loss to Tyron Woodley, that knockout loss where he lost the championship, he went on to beat Donald Cerrone, but then after that followed that with a unanimous decision loss to Rafael Dos Anjos. So the 36-year-old is looking for a comeback fight and is looking for a victory to solidify him back in the top rankings of the welterweight division. But if you flip over to Ben Askren, and if you look at one of the interviews he just recently did with MMA Fighting at UFC 230 post-fight conference, he actually said that when he announced his retirement in November, he hasn't really been training. He may have been training a little bit for some wrestling tournaments here and there, but as for striking and jiu-jitsu, he really hasn't done much of that in terms of a complete mixed martial artist. And we know Ruthless Robbie Lawler, his work ethic is second to none. This guy goes in hard, trains hard, and he competes even harder. Examples were Carlos Condit fight and Rory MacDonald fight, where he showed that his heart was the main factor that gave him that victory in the upper hand in both those bouts. So with Ben Askren, the plan is simple. Take Robbie down and keep him there. Do that for 3 times, if assuming it is a 3-round fight, maybe a 5-round main eventer. But regardless, one factor that Ben Askren has going for him is that he trains with Tyron Woodley, for those of you who don't know. Tyron and Ben Askren are really good friends. They're really good wrestling partners, and overall, they're mixed martial arts athletes who train together and compete against each other. So, Ben Askren could, on the blueprint, have an easy way against Robbie Lawler, but we know it's never an easy fight against Ruthless. So I leave it to you guys. What do you think of this bout? Do you think it's going to be an easy night for Ben Askren? Do you think Ruthless is going to have enough tools to derail the hype train of Ben Askren and to start his finally his appearance in the UFC? Or do you think it's going to be a back and forth round with 2 veterans of the sport? Make sure to leave your comment down below so we can discuss it.